Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be slightly different from the others that you've seen from me. I'm actually going to be in my mommy bag today. What I'm going to be doing is sharing with you a few things that made those first few months of motherhood a little bit easier for me. It can be a really tough time for new parents, so these are a few things that made it easier and hopefully can make it easier for you as well. Let's talk about it. First on my list is this bad boy right here. This is my Apple Watch, and any smartwatch could do. What I found is after leaving the hospital, when I came home, I just had so much on my mind. There was so many things to do. I had to remember to feed the baby after every 2 to 3 hours, to change his diaper after every certain number of hours, to take my medications, to give the baby his medications. There were just so many things to remember, and it was difficult to stay on top of it. What I ended up doing was setting timers on my watch. I'll set an alarm for a certain time every day. Remember, take your meds. Remember, give the baby his meds. Remember, change the diaper. After every feed, I'll set another alarm to give him a feed in the next 2 to 3 hours. Because as newborns, they're not really crying because they're hungry. They're just waiting on you to be like, hey, feed me. So yeah, this really came in handy. And a feature that I really liked about it is the alarm vibrates on your arm, so it doesn't really make a loud noise. If the baby's sleeping, it won't wake him up. It'll just vibrate and be like, remember, you have to do this. So this came in very handy. So the second thing on my list is something I can't physically show you, but it was our midwives. Up to this day, I feel like those midwives were a godsend. We had midwives from the start of our pregnancy all the way to the end, all the way to postpartum. Unfortunately, I did have some complications in the last trimester at about 7 to 8 months. So I did have to start seeing an OBGYN. And I noticed the biggest difference from my midwife visits to my OBGYN visits. I just found that there was a lot more care with the midwives, and it was really all about me. My voice was being heard. And I found that wasn't the case with my OBGYN. Also, in postpartum, my son was born a couple of weeks earlier than he was supposed to be. So my mom had planned to come over and to help me with everything, but he came a lot earlier, and the midwives were really helpful in that time. They came to visit us, I think 3 days after he was born, 5 days after he was born, about a week after he was born, and really whenever I called them for any assistance, they were there for me. They were doing home visits, so they would see me in my comfortable spot. They were able to help me, be like, yo, put a pillow behind there. That might help you with like just a little bit. Maybe hold him like this, maybe do this. What's in your home that could be like helpful, that could help you, that could help him? That was a big help to me. So I'm not sure where you guys are from. I'm not sure how it works in your country, in your state, in your province. But if you can, get a midwife. The third thing on my list is a Starbucks cup. No, it doesn't necessarily need to be a Starbucks cup, but any cup that can hold a lot of liquid, a very big cup, that's what you need. You will need to hydrate quite a lot, especially if you're breastfeeding. And honestly, at the time, your life, your mind, everything is all about that little baby that you might forget to take care of yourself. So always make sure that you have a big cup that you don't have to constantly have to go and refill, and you can take sips from it. At least like in a day, you can say, I've had 2 of these cups, I've had 3 of these cups. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And please, new mommies, look after yourself. If you're not well taken care of, the baby's not well taken care of. So hydrate, 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 and eat. Some of those timers you'll set a timer to eat. Make sure you take care of yourself. Well, the fourth thing on my list are these cloths right here. They're little cloths. They're not really big. They're not like big washcloths. And these really came in handy. My mother-in-law got them for me while I was still pregnant, and she got like so many packs of them, and I was looking at them like what does she think I'm going to be bathing the baby every 2 seconds? Why does she think I need this many cloths? And then the baby came and he would spit up a lot. So those really came in handy. I'd wipe him up. If I had to burp him, I'd always have a cloth on me. If like he just spit up, I could at least wipe him with those. I stayed with those next to me all the time. It would be my water bottle and a stack of those cloths. They were always so helpful. If I spilled something, oh, just get a cloth, wipe it up. They were so handy. So if you can get your hands on those, get your hands on those. Speaking of spitting up, I got a lot of these blankets from friends and family. Everyone got me a little blanket, and they did come in very handy with keeping baby warm, keeping him wrapped up in that because he wants the snuggles and everything. It was really great for that. But another thing I used it for was putting it over my shoulder to burp baby. Or like, honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't mind. If he spit up on me, it was what it was. But if someone else came over and they wanted to see baby and they would hold him just to protect their clothes, like, here you go, put this little blanket over you. We don't want to mess. And they came in really handy for that. And like I said, I'll put them to swaddle baby up. Our son was born in August, so it did start getting cold in the months later. So these were very handy. When we stepped outside, would wrap him up in that, would put him in his swaddle. He'd have a little blanket, and they're not too heavy. So like we could layer him with clothes underneath and have this. When it got a little bit warmer, would remove this. So get a blanket. Friends and family will probably get them for you while you're pregnant. When you see them, don't be like, I've got too many blankets. You can never have too many blankets. I've completely forgotten what number we're on, but another thing that did help me quite a lot was this. This is a breast pump. I got it from Amazon. It's by Bella Baby, and it was quite inexpensive. It came with all its attachments, a tubing port, 2 bottles, the actual, I think they're called phalanges that come onto your nipples, and it was so helpful, especially when we were like out of the house, because my son was exclusively breastfed as soon as he figured out how to latch on. And we'd be out of the house sometimes and he's like, I'm hungry, and I'll be able to at least give him the bottle of the pumped milk. Right now, I am pumping milk for him and just storing it in the freezer. There's like a stack of pumped milk. So that really does help you if maybe you're going out somewhere and you're leaving baby with someone. That will come in handy. If maybe you're having a drinky drinks and you don't want milk, like you don't want baby to drink from that, you've got pumped milk. So that does come in really handy. I would say like number 1 thing to make sure you have is a breast pump. I've discussed this with a few of my friends that are also first-time moms, and everyone has said that literally no one told them that breastfeeding is not as natural as everyone says it is, or as it looks on TV. It's not just you put your baby to the breast and everything goes smoothly. It's actually really difficult. This is not something I was aware of. And in the beginning, my son was okay with taking bottles. So he was taking formula in bottles and he was just not latching onto the nipple. I did have a lactician help me while I was in the hospital, but my midwife helped me quite a lot. And she introduced me to these. These are nipple guards. So let me open it. They look like this. And they go over your nipple. I'm not sure if you can see it. And it goes over your nipple. For my son, this was very helpful because he could take the bottle. So it was the texture of the bottle that he was like, okay, I know to drink from this. But unfortunately on the nipple, he was like, I don't know what to do with this. So this came in very handy. When I put it over my nipple, it was a little bit harder. It felt kind of like the bottle. And he was like, okay, I know to drink from this. And after a while, I took it off and he became a lot more comfortable and he knew exactly what to do with it. That was very helpful in the first few months. but it can also come in really handy in later months. Like now, he is a year old and he's got teeth and he's starting to bite. This will save your nipples from a lot of biting, okay? It might not be comfortable for them at first, but eventually they'll get used to it because yes, it is a little bit rubbery, but it's also very thin. So it won't be like that much of a difference. And yeah, it will save your nipples from a lot of biting, trust me. Newborns are tiny, but when they are breastfeeding, they feed, okay? They might stay on the breast for 15, 20 minutes. And like I said, they might have to feed every 2 to 3 hours. And that takes a toll on your nipples. That's something I didn't realize. And their little gums, before they figured it out, are like grinding on you. Like it's a hot mess. And this came in very handy for me. This is a nipple cream. I got it from Shoppers, and I'm sure you can get it from whatever drugstore you have closest to you. And it came in so handy. Like after baby was done feeding, I'd rub it on and it just soothes. It just makes you feel better. Some people, I never experienced this, but there's some people who experience dry nipples after baby has been feeding on and off. This will really help you quite a lot with that. When I mentioned the pump, the breast pump, I said, Mommy can have a drinky drinks, give the baby some pumped milk. But then after that, you might be worried, like, do I still have alcohol in my system? This is your guy. This is by Upspring. It's a milk screen for breastfeeding. There are little packs in here that come with test strips. And these test strips detect any amount of alcohol in your milk. And if you do detect alcohol, the strip changes color, and then you know, maybe I shouldn't be feeding baby right now. Maybe I should wait a little bit. Give him another bottle of pumped milk. And if the strip is still the same color, you can go ahead and feed baby because that means there is no alcohol detected in your milk. Moms, I know like it can get really difficult. You haven't had a drink for 9 months and you're like, I just want one drink. And then you don't want to feel guilty afterwards, like, am I feeding baby alcohol? You don't want to be second guessing yourself. You don't want to be doubting yourself. There are studies that show that the alcohol will leave your system in about 2 hours. But even then, like, you just want to be 100% sure. This is it. This will do it for you. Go ahead, have that drink, get you some strips. You'll know what to do after that. Something that I was never warned about was just how much paranoia came with being a first-time mom. I'd feel my son's forehead or his little hands or his feet, and I'm like, oh my goodness, he's warm, he's got a fever, something's got to be done. And this is when this came in handy. This is a thermometer, and this is one of those that like I don't have to put anywhere on his body. I just click and it gives me the temperature. And this really helped me a lot. Like I'll think he's having a fever, put this on him and find out he's okay. My boy is fine. I don't have to stress. And what I liked about it was just how easy it was. So just in a second, I was calmed down. I knew everything was okay. I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to stress. So first time mommies, new parents, get yourself a thermometer because trust me, you'll be so paranoid over the smallest things. This was something that we got much later. Our baby was about 6 months when we got this, and I wish we'd gotten it sooner. This is a steamer. It's a baby food steamer, but it also doubles up as a sterilizer. So it comes with this attachment. There's also another attachment. They're 2 different colors, and you'll use one for steaming food and the other one you can use for sterilizing. Little things like pacifiers, little toys, bottles. It's perfect for that. And then also you can steam baby's food once he starts going on solids. It also has an attachment for eggs, so you can steam eggs in this. It's really perfect, comes in handy. It's got different settings for whatever different foods you're trying to cook or if you're trying to sterilize. It's something that's worth investing in. I wish I had done it sooner, so hop onto it, mommies. So in those first few months when baby was really small, I still wanted to do things around the house, but like I didn't want to let him go. He was my precious. And this is what really helped me. This is a baby carrier. It is something that helps you wear your baby. So this is by Daisy Grow. I believe I also got this on Amazon. And there is a video on YouTube that shows you how to wrap it around, and you just put baby in it and he's all cuddled and snuggled up in you, and he's not going anywhere. And you can walk around and do all sorts of things around the house. This was really helpful for me because I just didn't want to let him go. And I didn't have to with this. As baby got a little bit older, it got a little bit difficult wearing him in that wrap. And that's when we got this baby carrier. And you wrap this around your waist and have baby sitting in here. Baby can be facing you or facing outside. Mommy can wear this, daddy can wear this, and you can just go about your chores. Babies do tend to get a little bit clingy at some points in their lives, and they're just like, I don't want to leave mommy, I don't want to leave daddy, and that's perfect for it. You can show them what you're doing around the house. I used to show my son everything, like this is how I do the laundry, and just pack everything up, and he's just sitting in that carrier just watching everything. It's a good bonding time with your baby, and you will enjoy it. And that's everything. These things came in really handy for me, and I hope they do for you as well. I am going to link a few of the things that I got from Amazon in my description box, and you can go ahead and take a look at them. What I really like about a lot of these things is they not only came in handy for that first stage of his life and of my motherhood, they are still in use up until today. So I hope that you do get a few things. Let me know if they're helpful for you. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me to make my life a little bit easier right now. Please like this video, share this video with any new parents, any new moms, and comment down in my description box any suggestions you have for me. And please subscribe to my channel.